welcome to the announcement of the nominees for GameSpot's Best and Worst of 2007.
Now, 2007 has been an amazing year for games. I mean, there have been so many amazing titles packed into one year. It's been crazy.
It's crazy, and I mean, it's even with the delays and stuff. Anyway, these nominees, we feel like our editors nominated them as the best and worst games of the year so far.
Now, first we'll be taking a look at the nominees for special achievements in games that cover a variety of topics, some stuff that you'd expect like graphics and sound, and some other cool things that we came up on our own.
Product placement, we hate you. Anyway, here's the nominees.
Welcome to GameSpot's 2007 Special Achievement Awards. Hey, Matt Rory.
Jason Ocampo, good man.
Yeah, so here we are. We're going to celebrate the best in individual achievement of the year in gaming.
Special achievements.
Special achievements, exactly.
What are we going to start with?
You know what? I think we need some music to start this off with.
That's a good idea.
So let's cover best original music.
And the nominees for Best Original Music are Super Mario Galaxy, Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect,
Williams, radio Joker and tell him to meet us at the bomb site.
BIOSHOck, The Orange Box,
Well, my Savage Beast has really been soothed by that.
Yeah, I know, exactly. There's so much good music there. The Portal songs on my iPod. I think Mass Effect reminds me of like those old great John Carpenter scores from the 80s. I don't know about you, Matt, but that's a great category.
It was very surprising. And you know what else is surprising?
What is?
Sometimes good games are surprising.
Yeah, sometimes there is there's games that come out, we kind of don't expect anything of them, and they just blow us away.
Indeed.
So we actually have a category for this.
Do we?
Yes, it's called Best Surprisingly Good Game.
The nominees for Most Surprisingly Good Game are Puzzle Quest, Challenge of the Warlord, Medal of Honor Heroes 2, Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl, Dementium, The Ward, Grim Grimoire.
So I don't know about you, Matt, but Stalker was my personal best surprising game of the year.
Yeah, it was definitely a high point for PC gaming, I think.
All right, so we did Best Original Music, and now we have another music category, but this was Best Licensed Music.
Yeah, fans of GTA and other games like that will know how important licensed music can be to a game. But there was no GTA this year, so instead we have 5 new games to talk about, and here they are.
The nominees for Best Licensed Music are BioShock, Rock Band, Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock, FIFA Soccer 08, Def Jam Icon.
Now, as important as music is to games, arguably for a lot of games, the story is the core part of the experience, so it's obviously more important.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the music just highlights the action, but at the heart of every game, you need to have something you're fighting for, some cause you believe in. And we have a category called Best Story that highlights the best stories of the year.
The nominees for Best Story are The Orange Box, BioShock,
I want to make them beautiful, but they always turn out wrong!
Shin Megami Tensei, Persona 3, Mass Effect,
I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
Eternal Sonata.
They're blossoming.
There are a lot of really great stories there, Matt. I'd love to spoil all the endings to them, but we should probably move on.
Yeah, next up is Best Sound Design. Harry Potter dies. Sound design is a very important part of games because behind the scenes, a lot of people do a lot of work to get the sounds where they need to be. It's an unappreciated art, but here we have 5 great games that really brought the art to a next level in 2007.
The nominees for Best Sound Design are Skate, Rock Band, Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl, Def Jam Icon, BioShock,
Now, sound design is an underappreciated art, but obviously technical graphics is something that a lot of people are fanatically devoted to.
Exactly. I mean, this is the Eye Candy Award of the year. This is for the game that really just pushes everything. And so we have an example of 5 nominees that represent the absolute cutting edge in graphics technical.
Nominees for Best Graphics Technical are Ace Combat 6, Fires of Liberation, Supreme Commander, World in Conflict, Crisis, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare.
That category just always blows me away there, Matt. I don't know how you can really get much better than those games. Thank you, thank you. So moving on, from graphics and eye candy, what do we have?
We have Best Voice Acting, which is something that, again, is something behind the scenes that some games go for celebrity voice acting and it doesn't always work out right, but we'll get that later. But these games have the best voice acting in the history of the world.
The nominees for Best Voice Acting are The Orange Box,
Whose passing shall not be mourned, shall not be mourned.
BIOSHOck,
And a time to destroy!
Mass Effect,
We discovered a way to turn them into docile, obedient servants.
Heavenly Sword,
Filthy magic cannot touch me!
World in Conflict.
I believe we're as much to blame as them.
Now, voice acting is obviously very important to a game. It might make or break the superficial enjoyment of it, but also important is artistic graphics. Wouldn't you say, Jason?
Certainly. This is the best art design, basically, of the year. These games all represent very elaborate, very original visions that we really haven't seen before. So let's take a look at them.
The nominees for Best Graphics Artistic are Eternal Sonata, Assassin's Creed, Odin Sphere, Super Mario Galaxy, BioShock.
So those are some really amazing artistic games.
Indeed.
I'm always amazed by what artists can do nowadays. But let's move on. We have a best license game.
Best use of creative license, indeed. Now, these are the games that integrate their source material the best. Not a lot of games do it well. A lot of crappy movie tie-in games come out every year, but these are the games that really push it to the next level.
The nominees for Best Use of Creative License are The Darkness, Lord of the Rings Online, Shadow of Angmar, Sherlock Holmes, The Awakening, The Simpsons Game,
I'll
Conan.
help you, but only because it's my bloody armor.
And that was best use of creative license, which is always a very interesting category. And what do we have up next?
We have Best New Character of the Year, which is always pretty cool because here are the 5 most memorable, unforgettable characters we encountered in 2007.
The nominees for Best New Character are Andrew Ryan, BioShock,
A man chooses, a slave obeys.
the cast of Team Fortress 2, The Orange Box, GLaDOS, The Orange Box,
Well, you found me. Congratulations. Was it worth it?
Rex, Mass Effect,
Before we get our hands on Saren.
Kai, Heavenly Sword,
Those were all great new characters, Matt. The ones that stick in my mind are the ones from Orange Box, mainly because they're so funny.
Yes. And speaking of funny, we have now the funniest games of the year.
Nominees for Funniest Game are WarioWare Smooth Move, The Orange Box,
That the weighted companion cube will never threaten to stab you.
Super Paper Mario, The Simpsons Game, Chili con Carne.
I'm gonna shoot a missile.
Truly a laugh a minute. And what do you have for us next, Jason?
Well, you can have your best new characters, but I like games where you're just shooting people online. And so here we have the best multiplayer games of the year.
The nominees for Best Multiplayer Game are Halo 3, Rock Band. The Orange Box. World in Conflict. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare.
That was a lot of multiplayer mayhem in those 5 games, Matt. So what have we got next?
We have more mayhem for games that didn't have enough mayhem the first time around. Some games are so big they need to be expanded, and these are the best expansion packs of the year.
The nominees for Best Expansion Pack are World of Warcraft, The Burning Crusade, Galactic Civilizations 2, Dark Avatar, Supreme Commander, Forged Alliance, Civilizations 4, Beyond the Sword, Elder Scrolls 4, Shivering Isles.
Expansion packs are always fun to talk about, but now we have something even more fun and original to talk about, don't we?
Yeah, sometimes you have to have something new. I mean, everyone says games are the same thing over and over again, and they obviously haven't played some of these games on this list because these are the most innovative games of 2007.
The nominees for Best Original Game Mechanic are Drawn to Life, Eternal Sonata, The Orange Box, The Eye of Judgment,
Mana Release,
Def Jam Icon.
Those games represented some of the craziest new ideas I've seen in a long time, Matt. But what do we got next?
Well, up next is one of the newest trends in gaming. Downloadable games that you can download right to a console. And here are the 5 best from 2007.
The nominees for Best Downloadable Console Game are Warhawk, Tekken 5, Dark Resurrection, Puzzle Quest, Challenge of the Warlord, Everyday Shooter, Pac-Man Championship Edition.
And there you have some downloadable things that are good.
Yes, very good. And you know what's even better? It's when a company comes back, they make a game, and they, well, yeah, it was good, but maybe not great, but they can build on it. So here we have the most improved sequels of 2007.
The nominees for Most Improved Sequel are Super Mario Galaxy, Halo 3, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, Medal of Honor Heroes 2, Madden NFL 08.
Those games obviously built well on the predecessors, but you know, one of the unifying things about all these games is they all run on good hardware.
And good hardware is universal, and 2007 was the universal year for new good hardware for games.
The nominees for Best New Gaming Hardware are Rock Band Instrument Set, HARMONIX Music Systems, Blackbird 002 Desktop PC, Hewlett Packard, GeForce 8800 GT GPU, NVIDIA, PSP Slim, Sony Computer Entertainment, Xbox 360 Elite, Microsoft.
Things that are new are always fun to talk about, such as hardware, but what else is new in the world of games this year?
Well, you know, one of the things they're always looking for is innovation, so here are the 5 games that we really think are the most innovative games of 2007.
The nominees for Most Innovative Game are The Orange Box, World in Conflict, Puzzle Quest, Challenge of the Warlord, The Legend of Zelda, Phantom Hourglass, Crush.
Innovation is not dead, as those games show, but sometimes you want to keep the good times going, right, Matt?
That's very true, and a lot of games have decided to start doing that by unloading new downloadable content. And this award is all about the best downloadable content of 2007.
The nominees for Best Downloadable Content are Gears of War, Rock Band. Crackdown. The Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion. Tekken 5, Dark Resurrection.
So downloadable content is one of the ways that developers are really breathing new life into old games, but there's also other ways you can do that.
Yeah, control schemes and trying to come up with new ways of actually playing these games. So here are the best new control schemes of 2007.
The nominees for Best Use of Control Scheme are Resident Evil 4, Wii Edition. The Legend of Zelda, Phantom Hourglass. Assassin's Creed. Medal of Honor Heroes 2. WarioWare, Smooth Move.
Those were all pretty innovative control schemes, Matt, even though one might give me a little tennis elbow, but time to move on.
To Atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
The nominees for Best Atmosphere are The Orange Box, Crisis,
We've still got 3 more hostages out there. Let's hope they're in better shape than this one.
Assassin's Creed, BIOSHOck, Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl.
Atmosphere. We've got it, and so do a lot of games. But unfortunately, good times have to come to an end at some point, and that indeed was the last special achievement category.
Yes, Matt, but here's good news for people who like bad news, because we're moving on to Dubious Honors of 2007.
Hey, I'm Brad Shoemaker, and I'm joined here by Alex Navarro. Hey, Alex.
Hey there.
What are we looking at here today?
Today we are going to be looking at the dubious honors list.
Why would you want to honor something of dubious merit?
I believe that's the irony of the title, Brad, is that we're actually not honoring so much as we are talking a whole bunch of smack about some really terrible games and some really terrible things about games that maybe aren't so terrible.
All right, well, let's jump right into it. The first category is most despicable use of in-game advertising.
The nominees for Most Despicable Use of In-Game Advertising or Product Placement are Skate, Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock, All-Pro Football 2K8, Need for Speed Pro Street, Tabula Rasa.
Man, that was the despicablest.
Yeah, really chaps my hide, I'll tell you. But you know what else chaps my hide is some of the trends that have been coming along in gaming lately. You know, things like really lousy cliffhanger endings, really lousy Wii ports, just, you know, downloadable content that should just be on the game disc. These are the things that really bothered me and bothered the rest of us, the worst trends.
The nominees for Worst Trend are Frequent System Updates, Lousy Wii ports, downloadable content that should have been included, lousy cliffhanger endings, God of War style button.
It's like a bad taste I gotta get out of my mouth, I'm telling you.
Those are some disappointing trends, I'm telling you.
But that's not the only thing disappointing this year.
No, there were actually some pretty disappointing games this year too. You know, games that we really were hyped up about, you know, that we thought were going to be cool for one reason or another, and then they came out and they just didn't deliver. So let's take a look.
The nominees for Most Disappointing Game are WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2008,
Too much. I'm sure this breaks this guy's heart.
Kane and Lynch, Dead Men, Blue Dragon, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 08, Lair.
Man, some of those games are just going to ruin Christmas. But as you know, those were disappointing, but they weren't all bad. But there are some games.
There are some games, brother, that are just flat out awful. And in our next category, we in fact address these games that are so heinously awful that no human being should ever play them unless they get them for free and just want a good laugh. These are the flat out worst games.
The nominees for flat out worst game are Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, Hour of Victory, Deal or No Deal,
Hello and welcome to Deal or No Deal.
Anubis 2, Jenga World Tour.
Brother, that was rough.
Shameful. Shameful.
But at the very least, a lot of those games didn't necessarily sell so well.
Yeah, you know, we do these things called reviews to tell people when they shouldn't be playing games.
Yeah.
And sometimes that doesn't always work. Sometimes there are games that are just crap, but everybody buys them anyway.
And it's a real shame when that happens.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
Anyway, let's take a look at the worst games that everybody played.
The nominees for worst game everyone played are Spider-Man 3, Transformers, the game, NBA Live 08,
Dunked it to the rim.
Sonic the Hedgehog,
Long time no see.
I'm glad you're here.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
Come on, guys, keep up with review scores. Don't play that crap.
Seriously, what the hell is wrong with you people? You go out, you buy these crappy games, and then there are these awesome games that come out that get this stupid Critics Darling label because none of you go out and buy them. It totally sucks. These are the best games that none of you played.
The nominees for best game no one played are Flat Out, Ultimate Carnage, Puzzle Quest, Challenge of the Warlords, Crush, Hotel Dusk, Room 215, P-Cross DS.
God, man, those are some awesome games that people just totally missed out on.
You know, there's also a handful of games this year we didn't get to find out whether or not they were awesome because they didn't make it out.
Yeah.
Big games that we were excited about for one reason or another. We kicked and screamed and begged, but they didn't show up.
They don't listen to us.
These are the most disappointing delays of the year.
The nominees for most disappointing delay are Metal Gear Solid 4,
You're planning to take him by force. It's crazy.
Grand Theft Auto 4, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Mercenaries 2, Spore,
Disappointing delays. I mean, hey, maybe they'll make it out next year.
Yeah. I'm kind of spent right now. How about you?
Yeah, I can't take much more.
We need to get back into the positivity. We need to start feeling good about games again. So let's kick it to a new posse. Let's take a look at the genre awards.
Well, thanks, Brad and Alex, for that. Now, Ryan and I are here to talk about the genre awards. And Ryan is here to tell us what a genre is.
So a genre is basically just, how we categorize the different games that we play. Half-Life 2, that's a game you might call a shooter. Oblivion, you might call that an RPG. Or take me, for example, you might call me a complete badass.
I think I actually have, as a matter of fact. And on that note, we're going to take a look at our nominees for Best Action Adventure.
Nominees for Best Action Adventure Game are God of War 2, Resident Evil 4, Wii Edition, Assassin's Creed, Legend of Zelda, Phantom Hourglass, Tomb Raider, Anniversary.
So how about those action-adventure games? So what's up next, Ryan?
Well, those were some really amazing action-adventure games, but my problem with them, too much action.
Yeah, I'd say more adventure.
Let's take a look at this year's nominees for adventure games.
The nominees for Best Adventure Game are Zack and Wiki, Quest for Barbaros Treasure, Sherlock Holmes, The Awakened,
Do not fight the calling.
Hotel Dusk, room 215. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulation. Destination, Treasure Island.
And there you have our picks for the best dialogue clicking item finding adventure games of 2007.
Excellent. You know what else I like, Ryan?
What's that, Kevin?
Shooting guys in the face.
Shooting guys in the face. That's a staple in video games.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at 5 games in which you shoot guys in the face.
The nominees for Best Shooter are BIOSHOCK, Crisis, Halo 3, The Orange Box, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare.
Get back on those guys.
So Ryan, we saw a lot of dudes being shot in the face there.
And you know how much I love shooting dudes square in the face. But sometimes you got to get up close and personal, and you have to rip their entrails out with your bare hands. And here are 5 games in which you get to do just that. Our 5 fighting game nominees.
Painful.
The nominees for Best Fighting Game are Virtua Fighter 5 Online, Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, Def Jam Icon, Ultimate Mortal Kombat, King of Fighters 11.
Boy, I can't wait to find out who the king of those fighters is going to be.
But Ryan, violence doesn't solve everything. I think we need to prove that by taking a look at this year's best platformers.
The nominees for Best Platformer are Super Mario Galaxy, Sonic Rush Adventure, Ratchet & Clank Future with Tools of Destruction, Drawn to Life,
Lots of hopping, lots of jumping, but probably not enough driving, Ryan.
That's right, Kevin. Up next, we have just those games, our best drivers.
The nominees for Best Driving Game are Forza Motorsport 2, Project Gotham Racing 4, Dirt, Race 07, the WTCC game, Trackmania United.
Well, there's plenty of high-speed, high-octane action in that category, but sometimes you need to get a little bit more cerebral.
Absolutely. You gotta maneuver some blocks, you gotta push some marbles, and you just gotta remember that the cake is a lie. And on that note, we're moving into our best puzzlers of the year.
The nominees for Best Puzzle Game are Crush, Puzzle Quest Challenge of the Wardle, Switchball, The Orange Box, P-Cross DS.
Cake.
Cake indeed, Kevin. Our next category actually used to be the bastard child of the puzzle game category, but has since broken out and gotten the respect it deserves. Up next, our best rhythm games.
The nominees for Best Rhythm or Music Game are Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock, Rock Band, Antamarama, Hannah Montana Music Channel, Guitar Hero Encore rocks the 80s.
Well, that was an exciting category of rhythm games, and I know that Hannah Montana's got my vote.
Indeed. And it's too bad then that we can't play as Hannah Montana in the next category, the year's best RPGs.
The nominees for Best Role-Playing Game are Mass Effect,
How do you know about the Thorian?
I know what Exogeny was up to.
Super Paper Mario, Eternal Sonata,
Shane Comet!
The Witcher, Shin Megami Tensei, Persona 3.
He's a transfer student. He'll eventually...
Who's going to roll a natural 20, Ryan?
We'll find out soon enough, Kevin. But up next, we go to the other side of the video game world and check out the best sports games of 2007.
The nominees for Best Sports Game are FIFA Soccer 08, Madden NFL 08,
Deuce on the handoff. Slips into the open field.
NBA 2K8,
James passes it up court.
NHL 08,
Big-time scoring chance, and they put it.
The Bigs,
Tracked down by Casey. Steps on first.
Speaking of sports games, Kevin, I understand that strategy also has an S in it.
Great transition, Ryan. Strategy games also have units, explosions, and lots of things to control. So without further ado, let's take a look at the best strategy games of the year.
The nominees for Best Strategy Game are Command & Conquer 3, Tiberium Wars, Europa, Universalis 3, World in Conflict, Supreme Commander, Grim Grimoire, and the winner is...
Well, there you have it, the best games in their genre of 2007. But Ryan, what if you wanted to get the best game on its individual platform this year?
I don't know!
Hi, I'm Joe Dodson.
And I'm Brendan Sinclair.
And we're here to introduce the best games on individual consoles for 2007. Our first category will be the Nintendo DS, Nintendo's hot-selling handheld platform, with a bunch of eclectic games that even your grandmother would love.
Yeah, my mom's getting at least one of these for Christmas.
And hopefully my mom's getting me one.
The nominees for Best Nintendo DS Game are Pokemon, Diamond and Pearl, P-Cross, DS, The Legend of Zelda, Phantom Hourglass, Contra 4, Hotel Dusk, Room 215.
Wow, what a bunch of awesome games, man. That Zelda, so smooth and elegant.
Yeah, I got so hooked on P-Cross, I used to see it when I closed my eyes at night. It was really freaky.
I can see it right now.
The only way that I could break that was to supplant it with some PSP games, actually. So I got hooked on some of these.
The nominees for Best PSP Game are Sid Meier's Pirates, Crush, Jeanne d'Arc, Puzzle Quest, Challenge of the Warlords, Ratchet & Clank, Size Map.
Despite our on-the-go lifestyles, sometimes you just don't really want to go anywhere with your games.
And some games you couldn't take anywhere even if you wanted to. But that's okay, especially if they're on the PS2, a system that has aged like fine wine. 2007 has been a vintage year.
The nominees for Best PlayStation 2 Game are God of War 2, Shin Megami Tensei, Persona 3, Rock Band, Grim Grimoire, Tomb Raider Anniversary.
Wow, what an awesome collection of games. I wonder which one's gonna win. Brendan?
Yeah, the competition's almost as intense in the Microsoft's Xbox 360 Platform of the Year awards. I mean, Microsoft spent so much money getting into the game industry, and now they're finally looking to turn a profit with their games division for the first time. And a big reason why is a lot of the nominees here.
Nominees for Best Xbox 360 Game are Rock Band, The Orange Box, Halo 3, Forza Motorsport 2, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Those were just a few of the big games on the 360 this year, and there were really a lot of other worthy contenders on that platform.
Speaking of contenders, the Sony PlayStation 3. Even though it got off to a rocky start in 2006, it really started to separate itself from the pack in 2007. Some really unique downloadable games, an attempt at curing cancer with the Folding at Home program, as well as these awesome titles.
Nominees for Best PlayStation 3 Game are Rock Band, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Warhawk.
Wow, that's an intimidating lineup of PS3 games, despite the fact that one of its main exclusives, Metal Gear Solid 4, got delayed until 2008.
Yeah, the Wii had the same thing happen with Super Smash Bros. Brawl. It got pushed to next year, but this year was still a big system for Nintendo. It had Super Mario and a host of others. It proved this year with a lineup of contenders like these nominees that it's good for more than mainstream news stories and juvenile puns.
Whee!
The nominees for Best Wii Game are Super Mario Galaxy, Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition, WarioWare Smooth Moves, Super Paper Mario, Zack and Wiki Quest for Barbaros Treasure.
Those games had a lot of people playing with their Wiis this year, right?
I do that every year, but I also play my PC every year, which is a strange thing because the PC really exists about 4 years into the future. It's like Japan that way. But if you look at this year's batch of games with their incredible tech and graphics, you can really see what we mean.
The nominees for Best PC Game are Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, BIOSHOCK, Crisis, The Orange Box, World and Conflict.
Wow, it's like the future really is now. Speaking of the future, make sure and check back on December 27th to see which games won.
That's also when GameSpot will reveal its overall 2007 Game of the Year nominees. Until then, I'm Brendan Sinclair.
And I'm Joe Dodson. Thanks for watching GameSpot.
And thank you for joining us. What you have just seen have been the nominees for GameSpot's Best and Worst of 2007.
To see the actual winners, come back to the site on Monday, December 24th. That's Christmas Eve day for all you Christians out there, to see our first winners. And we'll announce more as the week goes on.
So for GameSpot, I'm Ricardo Torres.
And I'm Tor Thorson. It's been a hell of a year.
It has. Thank you for coming to the site, and we'll see you next year.
2008.